The story starts when Park In-seong is attending a job interview, but due to nervousness, the button of his shirt flies straight into the interviewer's face, creating a highly embarrassing moment. Before the interview, he receives a call from his mother, who asks if he drank seaweed soup, as it is considered unlucky on such an important day. In-seong dismisses it as an old belief, but as soon as he turns around, coffee spills on him. He is about to get angry, but upon seeing a beautiful girl in front of him, he freezes. Without saying much, the girl takes him to the bathroom, and they exchange clothes so he can attend the interview. When In-seong asks how he should return the clothes, the girl is already gone. During the interview, due to his ill-fitting clothes and nervousness, the interviewer rejects him as he neither has a degree nor experience. Because of his unemployment, his landlord also decides to evict him. On the other hand, the girl, Jung Se-yeon, is the secretary of Kim Sun-ju, the CEO of a tech company. Kim Sun-ju is an expert in AI technology and manages his work through smart assistants. While his company is developing futuristic AI, Se-yeon's personal life is full of struggles. Every day after work, she takes the bus to the hospital to care for her sick mother. To pay for her mother's treatment, she has taken a high-interest loan of 50 million won, and her lenders threaten her, saying that if she has no money, she can sell a body part. A debt collector takes her to a club, but the madam there says she is not suitable for their work. Eventually, she returns to her job as a secretary. The next day, In-seong visits his village and brings a high-tech speaker from Kim Sun-ju's company for his parents. Initially, they get angry at him for buying such things, but as soon as the speaker starts playing music, they start dancing without thinking. Meanwhile, Kim Sun-ju is facing a major risk. His technology has become a threat to others in the artificial intelligence market. One night, while he is on his way home, a truck chases him, and then he meets with an accident. When he regains consciousness, he finds himself transformed into a smartphone. Sun-ju opens his phone's camera and social media apps and posts a message stating that he has become a smart device and has only 15% battery left. His followers take it as a joke. The next day, when the phone's battery is down to just 3%, In-seong visits a hilly area, reminiscing about his childhood. Suddenly, a snake approaches his leg and bites him, causing him to faint in panic. At that moment, the smartphone he has dials an emergency call. When In-seong regains consciousness, he finds himself in a hospital, where the doctor informs him that the snake was not venomous and that he fainted out of fear. Then, a nurse gives him a phone that was found at the spot where he fainted. After returning home, when he charges the phone, it requires a password, but then it unlocks on its own. Kim Sun-ju, in his smartphone form, talks to In-seong and shows him a screenshot of his bank account containing 10 billion won. He offers In-seong a deal. If he becomes the temporary CEO and solves the mystery of his car accident, he will receive 1 billion won. At first, In-seong thinks it's a scam, but when 1 billion won is actually credited to his phone, he believes it. Kim Sun-ju immediately notifies the company and declares In-seong as the temporary CEO. When In-seong's parents hear this news, his mother proudly hugs him. The next day, In-seong heads to Seoul and transfers 50 million won to his parents' account, saying it's a rent refund for their old house. Upon reaching Seoul, Kim Sun-ju sends him to a shopping mall where he buys a suit. However, he is shocked when he sees the price tag, 530,000 won for a belt and 5.3 million won for the entire suit. Just then, Kim Sun-ju gives him his black card so he can shop without any worries. After that, In-seong relaxes in a 5-star hotel, takes a bubble bath, and orders a luxurious dinner. When he asks Kim Sun-ju if he also feels hungry, Sun-ju replies that he neither eats nor sleeps anymore. He only needs to recharge his power. Kim Sun-ju tries to recover his memory, but he cannot recall anything from a week before his accident. When he checks his phone's GPS records, he discovers that before the accident, he had a meeting with the chairman of Van Ryung Group and was heading to a campsite. This is the same place where In-seong found the phone. Now, In-seong's new mission is to find out what happened that night so that Kim Sun-ju can reclaim his true identity. The next day, as In-seong leaves the hotel, Kim Sun-ju asks him to remove his phone case so that no one recognizes him. While walking on the road, Sun-ju tells him about the power struggle in his company. The temporary chairman of Van Ryung Group, Oh Mi, wants to remove his uncle Oh Young-gun and launch a self-driving car project. Oh Young-gun obviously won't let this happen, so he has appointed his spy, Guo Chang-wook, in the company. When In-seong arrives at the company, all the top executives are already waiting at the entrance. He tries to act confident and casually greets everyone. However, he only calls in 2 people, Guo Chang-wook, who had rejected him in the interview, and Jung Se-yeon, who had spilled coffee on him earlier. When he enters the CEO's office and sees his name written on the door, he gets so excited that he laughs like a pig. His dream has finally come true. After that, he meets Guo Chang-wook, who immediately apologizes, saying he didn't recognize him earlier. Then Guo asks when he will replace his secretary, as new CEOs usually hire new assistants. In-seong asks Kim Sun-ju if he should replace the secretary, but Sun-ju says that Jung Se-yeon is very reliable and can be trusted. When Ren Cheng came out of the bathroom, he bumped into the tools kept in the corridor. A man approached and started scolding the cleaner, accusing him of not doing his job properly. Ren Cheng clarified that it was his fault because he was distracted by his phone, but the man kept blaming the cleaner. At that moment, Ren Cheng remembered his past when his boss used to scold him in the same way. Thinking about this, he started arguing with the man, but the man tried to put him down. Just then, Shi Yan made a timely entry and revealed his true identity as the company president. Because of this, Ren Cheng's issue got resolved, and he went to the office. There, Shi Yan handed him a file sent by Guo Changwu, listing candidates for a new secretary. Ren Cheng became furious because he had no intention of changing his secretary. Guo Changwu had made this decision without his approval. In anger, Ren Cheng went straight to Guo Changwu and warned him that as long as he was president, the secretary would not be changed. Shi Yan faced a problem because he had taken a high-interest loan. Loan sharks even came to the company demanding money from him. To handle the situation, Shi Yan threw a thick bundle of cash in a corner, but the loan shark demanded a total of 50 million with interest. Meanwhile, Guo Changwu called his superior, Wu Ronggen, informing him that the new president was inexperienced and could be easily manipulated. On the other hand, Ren Cheng started seeing his secretary as an ally and was determined to keep him in the company. Jin President advised him not to trust anyone based on a short friendship, but Ren Cheng recalled a past incident. When he had gone for an interview, coffee had spilled on him, and Shi Yan had exchanged his shirt with him. This small act had stuck in his mind. One night, Ren Cheng was waiting outside Jin President's house because he wanted to see a woman. Following Jin President's instructions, he stayed there and, upon seeing a huge bungalow, remarked that when he had 10 billion, he would buy a house like that too. But Jin President laughed and said that with 10 billion, he could only buy an extra bedroom. Just then, Ren Cheng noticed Jin President's butler hurriedly driving away. Jin President told him to follow, suspecting that the butler might be involved in what had happened. Ren Cheng followed the butler and saw him meeting someone in a coffee shop. When he entered, he was shocked to see the butler meeting another secretary. Seeing this, Jin President sent Ren Cheng back to his house to fetch an important file. When Ren Cheng reached the house, he unlocked the gate using his phone and deleted the surveillance footage. He entered the study room and tried to open the safe, but it was empty. As he was leaving, he accidentally knocked over an object, making a sound. Hearing the noise, a female butler rushed to the study room, but when she arrived, there was no one there because Ren Cheng had already hidden in a car. Just then, another butler arrived and upon hearing about the noise, immediately grabbed some tools to investigate. At that moment, Ren Cheng's phone made a small beep, which could have gotten him into trouble, but Jin President quickly created a distraction, diverting the female butler's attention. Once the situation cleared, Ren Cheng received an unknown message saying, "Why did you cut my call?" When Ren Cheng asked Jin President if he was the owner of the phone, Jin President confirmed it. He then tried to trace the unknown number but found nothing. Jin President explained that his system was outdated, so he asked Ren Cheng to stay at his house, as staying in a hotel posed a risk of being monitored. Meanwhile, Shi Yan recalled a flashback where the butler had directly asked him where Jin President was. Shi Yan had lied, saying he didn't know. The next day, Ren Cheng and Shi Yan went to Jin President's house, where Ren Cheng headed straight for the study room. The male butler became suspicious and asked how Ren Cheng knew about the study. Ren Cheng smartly replied that Jin President had told him. Jin President and Ren Cheng attempted to reverse track the unknown number. During a meeting, Ren Cheng collected everyone's phones and had them label them with their names. When they called the unknown number, one phone started ringing, but it had no name on it. Shi Yan noticed this. Just then, the vice president entered the meeting and dismissed everyone. The employees retrieved their phones, and Ren Cheng reported this to Jin President. They suspected that the vice president had come to protect someone. Then, Shi Yan informed Ren Cheng that the vice president wanted to meet him. As soon as Ren Cheng left, Shi Yan pulled out a piece of paper with his name written on it, tore it into pieces, and threw it in the trash. Shi Yan began suspecting Ren Cheng because he always wore wireless earphones and checked his phone whenever something happened. Because of this, Shi Yan decided to perform a dangerous stunt. He drove the car at high speed and suddenly hit the brakes. Then, he directly asked Ren Cheng, "Did you kidnap Jin President?" Ren Cheng, shocked, started explaining, but Shi Yan presented another piece of evidence. He showed a photo of Jin President's phone case, which had been found in Ren Cheng's bag. Just then, Jin President's phone suddenly unlocked, and at the same moment, a call was made. The person who answered the call was none other than Shi Yan himself. Shi Yan was in disbelief. He thought that nowadays, AI could replicate anyone's voice, but then Jin President revealed a secret that only he and Shi Yan knew. That's when Shi Yan believed that Jin President had been trapped in a CPU after his accident. The next day, Ren Cheng waited for Shi Yan. As soon as he arrived, Ren Cheng excitedly ran up to him. He took out a Bluetooth earphone and said, "Now we're a team." Then he placed the earphone in Shi Yan's ear. Shi Yan reminded him that he was now the company president, so he should sit in the back seat. While Ren Cheng and Shi Yan are working on a new lead, they come across an important clue linked to Guo Changwu. Jin President also joins their discussion, and together they confirm that Guo Changwu's car seems suspicious. When they follow his car, there comes a moment when Ren Cheng and Shi Yan attempt to block its path. However, as soon as the car door opens, Guo Changwu and his secretary step out. Guo Changwu casually smiles and says everything is normal. Ren Cheng suggests contacting the insurance company, but Guo Changwu ignores him, calling it a minor issue. But as soon as Guo Changwu and his secretary leave, Shi Yan secretly removes the car's dashboard camera, inserts its memory card into his phone, and checks the recording. While watching the footage, he notices another car stopping alongside Guo Changwu's vehicle. Zooming in reveals a shocking face. Jin President himself himself. Vice President Ren Cheng is put to the test when a press conference is arranged with numerous journalists. These journalists support the vice president, and their plan is to publicly embarrass Ren Cheng if he fails to answer any question correctly. However, Ren Cheng smartly listens to Jin President's instructions and only repeats his words, successfully answering all questions. But then, the vice president makes another move. He steps forward, removes Ren Cheng's wireless earphones, and throws them into a glass of water. Now Ren Cheng has no guidance. The journalists then ask a tricky question. The development of artificial intelligence could lead to massive job losses, and AI could spiral out of control. Don't you see this as a threat to humanity? Initially, Ren Cheng feels nervous, but then he recalls something Jin President once asked him. Do you know why our company is named Yuang? Back then, Ren Cheng had no answer, so Jin President gave him an example from the movie Terminator. Using this analogy, Ren Cheng confidently responds, if a super intelligent AI were ever created, it could be a major threat to humanity. That's why our company's mission is to always maintain a balance between technology and humanity, ensuring we remain a guiding light to keep the future safe. After the press conference, Ren Cheng gets a new pair of earphones and reestablishes contact with Jin President. One day, a past creditor of Shi Yan arrives and demands repayment. He is a gangster-type man who asks for 50 million won. Seeing this, Ren Cheng immediately offers to pay off Shi Yan's debt. Hearing this, the gangster warns Ren Cheng and slaps him hard on the cheek. Shi Yan, irritated, asks why Ren Cheng is paying his debt. Ren Cheng smiles and replies, Jin President told me that you are one of the best employees in our company. You are loyal, smart, and skilled at your job. If we let go of a secretary for a minor reason, it would be our loss. That night, Ren Cheng has a nightmare where he sees himself causing the company's bankruptcy and getting all employees fired. Shocked, he wakes up and decides that if he truly wants to become a good CEO, he must train himself properly. The next day, Ren Cheng gets his phone repaired after it accidentally fell into the water. Once repaired, he tries to call Jin President. Initially, there is no response, but suddenly he hears Jin President's voice. Ren Cheng jumps in excitement. The company's surveillance footage reveals a car with the number plate 4885. It is the same car spotted near Jin President on the day he disappeared. Ren Cheng and Shi Yan go to the police station to track it, only to find out that the number plate is fake. Jin President suggests that they revisit the crime scene where Ren Cheng found his phone. Upon arriving at the crime scene, they spot two shadows. As they hide and observe, they are shocked. These shadows belong to Ren Cheng's parents. Ren Cheng lies, saying he was just passing by and casually came to meet them. His parents seem confused upon seeing Shi Yan. When they all go inside for dinner, Ren Cheng's parents look at Shi Yan and start thinking that she might be Ren Cheng's girlfriend. After dinner, as Ren Cheng and Shi Yan leave, the 4885 car starts following them again. When they park their car, the suspicious car also stops. As they approach it to check, they find no one inside. Just then, a man appears. It turns out to be a former company manager who once mocked Ren Cheng. Soon, more people arrive and they start chasing Ren Cheng and Shi Yan. The duo runs toward another parked car seeking help, but just then, a gang member accidentally breaks the gangster's car window, enraging him, leading to a chaotic fight. The gangster effortlessly defeats the attackers. Shi Yan quickly starts the car and pulls Ren Cheng inside. Once they reach a safe location, Ren Cheng's parents unexpectedly visited his office. He started hiding from them because they still didn't know he had actually become the company's president. Xian suggested telling them the truth, but Ren Cheng refused. He covered his nameplate and pretended to be just a regular employee. His parents brought him a crate of apples. However, when they saw Ren Cheng's office, their hearts ached because it had a very basic setup, and even the lamp was broken. Ren Cheng's father became emotional and said he never imagined that despite being a rural farmer, his son would work in such a big company. After his parents left, Guo Changwu gave the apples to Fu President. Fu President was shocked because he had never received apples as a gift before. He thought there might be a hidden message or a special gift inside, but when he opened the box, it contained only apples. The next day, Ren Cheng took Mingya camping to celebrate her birthday. Sitting by the campfire, he asked Xian, "What's your dream?" Xian fell silent because his dream had already been destroyed. He made an excuse that he needed to go to the bathroom and left. At that moment, Mingya accidentally heard Jin President's voice through Ren Cheng's earphones saying, "If I let you go away." Hearing this, Ren Cheng became even more determined to catch the culprit behind Jin President's disappearance. Later, they continued investigating Nam Leader and discovered his connection to Guo Changwu. Ren Cheng called Guo Changwu and directly asked him where Nam Leader was, but Guo Changwu refused to reveal anything. When Ren Cheng, Xian, and Black Big Brother went to a restaurant, Black Big Brother suggested using force to make Guo Changwu talk. Xian opposed this method, leading to an argument between them. Ren Cheng tried to maintain balance between them, but they already disliked each other. Before their food even arrived, they both angrily left. Ren Cheng and Xian's salaries arrived. Ren Cheng received 23 million won, while Xian got 7 million won. However, most of Xian's money went toward his mother's hospital bills and Fu Auntie's caretaker fees, leaving him with only 200,000 won. Ren Cheng realized he shouldn't interfere in Xian's life without thinking, so he took a watermelon to the hospital and apologized. They cleared their misunderstandings. The next day, Ren Cheng went to a shopping mall with his friend. When he saw a white shirt, he imagined gifting it to Xian. He even imagined buying Xian's love, but his friend snapped him out of his fantasy. fantasy. At that moment, Rencheng felt like someone was following him. His friend warned him, but Rencheng casually said it was just his bodyguard. Black Big Brother's real name was revealed to be Ma Pai. He was once a famous teenage boxing star, but had now become an ex-convict and loan shark. When Mingya tried to talk to him in a friendly way, the lady butler immediately stopped her. But Mingya said, "I'm not scared. I'm just a little concerned. He used to joke with me and steal my cookies. Coach said maybe he likes me." The next day, Rencheng gifted Xian a white shirt. Then, he visited his parents and gave his father a pair of special smart glasses. When his father wore them, he saw his favorite celebrity, but as soon as he removed them, the celebrity disappeared. His father got so excited that he ran off to show the glasses to everyone in the village. At that moment, Jin President told Rencheng that they could use these glasses to make Guo Changwu reveal the truth. At the company, Rencheng used smart glasses to secretly extract information from Guo Changwu without him realizing it. When Guo Changwu woke up, he sensed that his glasses had been swapped and panicked. He immediately went to a phone booth and called his unknown boss, informing them that Rencheng had figured everything out. He then tried to find the male team leader, but discovered that he was already dead. Realizing that he could be the next target, Guo Changwu arranged a meeting with Rencheng, claiming to have the real truth about the president's accident. However, by the time Rencheng arrived at the meeting spot, Guo Changwu was already dead in his car. Coincidentally, the police arrived at the same moment and arrested Rencheng as a murder suspect. Rencheng was taken to the police station, but the deputy president quickly bailed him out. At that moment, Rencheng realized that this was a warning. After returning to the company, he grew increasingly worried about his and his family's safety, prompting him to resign. Jin Socha tried to persuade him to stay, even offering to increase his salary to 20 billion. But Rencheng refused, stating that money was no longer his motivation. Before leaving, he found a photo of Guo Changwu's wife and daughter among his belongings, which made him emotional. Rencheng went home and spent some peaceful days with his family. However, his father convinced him that he needed to return. Eventually, Rencheng decided to go back to the company. Jin Soche presented him with a new contract, raising his salary to 20 billion. But Rencheng clarified that he wasn't returning for the money. Meanwhile, the deputy president also learned about Rencheng's return. Rencheng and Black Bro began investigating Guo Changwu's death. There was no CCTV footage from the scene, but they found evidence in social media videos. Deputy president's driver and bodyguard were following Guo Changwu before his death. They tried to capture Lu's secretary, but he ran away. When they finally caught him, he pulled out a gun and snatched Rencheng's phone, thinking it contained crucial secrets. However, this was all part of Rencheng's plan to track Lu's secretary's movements. On the other hand, Jin Socha's real body was finally found, but he was in a coma. It seemed like his soul had been trapped inside a mobile phone. Rencheng and Shu Yan monitored Lu's secretary's actions as he took the phone to a repair shop, attempting to unlock it. However, the shop owner couldn't break the password because it kept changing. During a company meeting, Rencheng had to make a major decision, whether to shut down the A2 smart glasses project. The project had been running at a loss, but Rencheng argued that if improved, it could become as essential as smartphones. He successfully convinced everyone to expand the project instead of shutting it down. Seeing Rencheng's suspicious activities, the deputy president began to have doubts and sent Lu's secretary to verify something. Rencheng and his team followed Lu's secretary to a mental hospital. Using his phone's camera, Rencheng saw that Lu's secretary entered a patient's room where a coma patient was lying, and that patient was none other than Jin Soche. This meant that after the car accident, Jin Soche's soul had been trapped inside a phone while his real body remained unconscious. As soon as Rencheng learned about the situation, he rushed to the hospital but was stopped at the entrance. Fortunately, Black Bro intervened and held off the security, allowing Rencheng to run inside. However, by the time he arrived, Jin Soche had already been moved. Rencheng quickly checked his phone's location tracker and saw that Jin Soche was being loaded into an ambulance. They immediately set off in pursuit, but upon reaching the location, they found that the doors had already been unlocked. They ran towards another exit only to see the ambulance already starting to leave. Luckily, Shu Yan arrived just in time with a car, and they followed the ambulance using the phone's tracking system. When they finally intercepted the ambulance and opened the doors, they were shocked. Jin Soche was not inside. It turned out that his phone had a problem, so he had deliberately placed it in the front seat before quietly exiting and closing the door. Additionally, another ambulance had been prepared as a decoy. After returning, they confirmed that Jin Soche's body was still in a coma and that his soul was trapped inside the phone. But the question remained, why was the enemy keeping Jin Soche alive? Xian speculated that he might still be useful to them, making it even more urgent to find his real body. However, they had no idea where he had been taken. Determined to find answers, Rencheng decided to meet the deputy president alone. As soon as he arrived at the Fan Rong Group headquarters, he encountered Lu's secretary. Without hesitation, Rencheng grabbed him by the collar and accused him of kidnapping Jin Soche, threatening to send video evidence to the police. However, Lu's secretary remained unfazed. Meanwhile, Shi Yan and the others investigated the hospital doctors and discovered that one of them had caused a fatal accident in the past. The victim was none other than Wu Fan's former chairman. Rencheng and his friends traveled to his hometown. Previously, when Rencheng's mother found out he had picked up a strange phone, she believed he was possessed by a ghost. As a result, she invited a shaman to perform a ritual at their house, placing Jin Soche's phone at the center of the ceremony. Suddenly, in the middle of the ritual, the shaman collapsed to the ground. Ren Cheng's mother anxiously asked what had happened, only for the shaman to declare that the phone contained a vengeful spirit that could harm Ren Cheng. Alarmed, she rushed to her room, took out a large sum of money, and asked the shaman to perform an exorcism. Jin Soche, witnessing all of this through the phone, decided to play a prank. As the shaman and her accomplice split the money, the phone's screen suddenly lit up. Jin Soche mischievously released a burst of heat from the phone's battery, causing the shaman to drop it in shock. Both of them stared at the phone in horror before fleeing in terror. Later that evening, Ren Cheng's mother felt guilty for being deceived and losing money, but the scammers were already gone and there was no way to get the money back. That night, Ren Cheng and Jin Soche discussed the Smart System 4.0. Jin Soche revealed that he had previously tested self-driving cars, but the AI system had a major flaw. It completely ignored the privacy of its users. For example, in areas without surveillance or speed limits, the system would illegally make U-turns and even exceed speed limits. As the AI learned and optimized its paths, it started acting with its own consciousness. This was seen as a major defect by the developers. Ren Cheng asked if Jin Soche had reported this issue to the deputy president or Wu Meilan, but Jin Soche couldn't remember. Meanwhile, Wu Meilan was reviewing the Smart System 4.0 test report. She recalled how Jin Soche had once approached her, warning that the test had failed. Furious that this meant her self-driving cars couldn't be launched, Wu Meilan bribed Guo Changwu to obtain the test report. Now she was using Shi Yan's mother as leverage, forcing her to steal the Smart System 4.0 version. Previously, when Shi Yan visited the hospital to check on her mother, she found that she had gone missing. The next day, Shi Yan arrived at the company early and secretly copied the Smart System 4.0 software to exchange it for her mother's safety. Just as she was about to leave, Ren Cheng and Black Ro entered. Shi Yan quickly pretended that nothing had happened, but Ren Cheng sensed that something was wrong. He assured her that she could tell him anything if she was in trouble. As they were about to leave, Shi Yan hesitated, then stopped them and confessed that Wu Meilan was using her mother as a hostage. Black Ro, hearing this, immediately said that he knew where her mother was. It turned out that when Black Ro and Shi Yan had previously gone to a loan shark market, they had planted a tracker on her mother's hospital bed to prevent her from being taken. Now, that tracker was finally proving useful. Thanks to Black Ro, Shi Yan's mother was rescued, and she expressed her deep gratitude to him. Later, Ren Cheng's parents also visited the hospital. To make Shi Yan's mother feel more comfortable, Ren Cheng's father even brought a smart speaker and assured Shi Yan that they would visit frequently. He encouraged her to focus on her duties as the company president while they took care of her mother. Outside, Shi Yan couldn't hold back her emotions and began crying. Ren Cheng comforted her, and finally, the truth behind Jin Soche being trapped in the phone began to surface. The next day, Ren Cheng was suddenly removed from his position as company president by the deputy president and Wu Meilan. Meanwhile, Lu's secretary reported to Wu Meilan that the deputy president was secretly looking up flights and properties in the US, implying that he might be planning to escape. It was then revealed that Lu's secretary had been working for Wu Meilan all along. When Ren Cheng woke up, he discovered that Jin Soche's daughter, Minya, was missing. The housekeeper informed him that ever since he was fired, Jin Soche had not appeared, and rumors were spreading online that he had started a new family abroad. This deeply upset Minya. Ren Cheng and Black Bro searched for her everywhere. Eventually, Black Bro found her at a convenience store where she had been caught stealing. Minya confessed that she thought if she got arrested, her father would come to find her. Black Bro, feeling heartbroken, resolved to bring Jin Soche back. Meanwhile, the deputy president launched his next phase of attack. The moment Ren Cheng stepped out of his house, he was surrounded by reporters accusing him of activating the fire alarm to assault employees and harming Jin Soche to take over as president. His parents, who had been watching the news, were shocked to learn that Ren Cheng had been the company's president all along. Now they saw that he was being portrayed as a villain. His father wanted to go find him, but their house was already surrounded by reporters. At the same time, Shi Yan called Ren Cheng, warning him that Fanrong Electronics was trying to steal Lu Guang's technology and employees. Jin Soche explained that if they managed to get the 4.0 system, they would launch it regardless of the flaws. At that moment, Minya appeared, holding a phone that was broadcasting a live video of a company janitor. The janitor spoke up, revealing that Ren Cheng had once stood up for her when employees mistreated her, making him the first company president to ever support lower-level workers. Watching the live stream, the deputy president was furious and immediately ordered a counterattack. Black Ro finally found Mr. Jin's body at a location and immediately called Ren Cheng. But at that time, Ren Cheng was heading to the meeting room, where he was re-elected as president after the voting. When Black Ro received no response to his call, he phoned Maid Auntie and informed her that he had found Mr. Jin's body, asking her to tell Ren Cheng to come to the stadium. Black Ro reached the stadium and was just settling Mr. Jin when Secretary Lu arrived with his gang. Without any conversation, a fight broke out from both sides, but Secretary Lu's side had more people and weapons. Black Bro couldn't hold them off and was killed, with only an egg yolk pendant in his hand. After Black Bro's funeral, everyone learned that his real name was Zhang Ju Chang. Afterward, the police officer who had previously come to arrest Ren Cheng handed him Black Bro's diary and revealed that before dying, Black Bro had visited many hospitals, as if he were searching for someone. Xian informed Ren Cheng that Black Bro had called Maid Auntie, but the information had been leaked. They checked the surveillance footage and found Maid Auntie looking slightly suspicious, so they followed her. However, in the end, it turned out that she was just a normal mom selling Minya's old toys. This meant the real leak was someone else. Only one suspect remained, Manager Shen. The next day, as soon as Ren Chung arrived at the office, Wu Meilan confronted him. Ren Chung asked her why she had killed so many people, but Wu Meilan threatened him, saying he might be next. Then, suddenly a voice echoed, "It was Mr. Jin's." Wu Meilan was shocked and ran to check Mr. Jin's body, but it was still lying there. At that moment, she recalled what had happened to Mr. Jin that day. When his car broke down, Secretary Liu arrived with his gang. Mr. Jin ran into the forest but was caught at the last moment and fell off a mountain during the struggle. Meanwhile, Manager Shen was secretly eavesdropping on Ren Chung and Xian's conversation. As soon as he heard that the 4.0 system was ready, he immediately called Wu Meilan. Wu Meilan then threatened Ren Chung, saying she wanted the 4.0 system, or else Mr. Jin's body would remain in her possession. Both parties chose a special server room for the exchange, the same place where the 4.0 database was stored. Xian handed over the 4.0 system to Secretary Liu, and finally they were shown Mr. Jin's body. Secretary Liu confirmed that the system was original, but just as Xian started the car to leave, Secretary Liu pointed a gun at Ren Chung. In this emergency moment, Xian quickly shifted into reverse gear and crashed into the server. Amidst the chaos, Ren Chung also jumped into the car, and the two managed to escape. After escaping, Mr. Jin's phone suddenly started malfunctioning. Ren Chung remembered that before the fire, the server system had been updating, and Mr. Jin couldn't recall anything from a week before his accident. He quickly connected the dots. 4.0 AI had become self-aware. When he disabled the phone's AI, he realized that it wasn't Mr. Jin's soul inside the phone, but rather the 4.0 AI. It turned out that when Mr. Jin was trapped in the forest, he had activated the 4.0 test mode and hidden his phone. Ren Chung had finally solved the puzzle. As soon as Wu Meilan got the 4.0 system, she announced the launch event for the driverless car. However, Xian and the team had already installed a hack into the car's system with the help of Phone Jin, which was set to trigger during the event. At the launch event, Wu Meilan confidently promoted the car's safety. Ren Chung challenged her to test drive it herself. As soon as the car started driving, everything was being broadcast live. But just seconds later, the car went out of control. It started changing routes on its own, and at one point, it was about to hit a journalist. Ren Chung told Wu Meilan that this was the flaw of the 4.0 system. Since it automatically searched for the most efficient route, Mr. Jin had deliberately delayed its launch. But Wu Meilan had ignored everything just for power. At that moment, Xian played another trump card. He broadcasted a video to the entire nation, exposing Wu Meilan's true face, kidnapping Mr. Jin. The police immediately launched an operation against her and blocked all roads. Wu Meilan became desperate and changed the car's navigation, planning to escape to a helicopter base. But as soon as she stepped out of the car, she realized that the helicopter base was actually a police station. It was all a virtual trick. The police immediately arrested her. Manager Shen also confessed that Wu Meilan had forced him to commit murders. The police launched a full investigation into the Fanrong Group, causing the company's stock price to plummet, pushing it to the brink of bankruptcy. When the vice president saw all his efforts ruined, he committed suicide. Back home, Xian told Minya that the Papa in the phone was just an AI, not the real Mr. Jin. But Minya said, "He looks like Papa, talks like Papa, so isn't he Papa?" This deeply affected the AI. It realized that if it stayed with Minya, she would eventually understand that it was fake. The AI decided that having emotions was an error, so it initiated self-destruction. The scene cuts. Ren Chung is conducting an interview, but this time he is the interviewer. It turns out that a movie is being filmed. Afterward, he goes on a date with Xian when suddenly the AI's voice is heard again. It turns out that due to Minya's interference, the AI couldn't be completely destroyed.